I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Its 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got room for all of us. Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yohana's putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. But before then, Thursday, it's going down at the Durham Armory, our annual all-black party. Last year was also the Hebrew Academy graduation dinner. This year, Commander General Yohana got something special for y'all. It is going down. What's happening? A full-blown Hebrew concert featuring Shaw, UPK Nazar, Kwarak Ice. This is not something you want to miss. Join us at Sheridan in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st, in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, sending curses to them enemies.
For my niggas, it'll be an honor and I'm blessed. Better watch how you brother. Is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how hood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be a honor and I'm blessed. Better watch how stepping, cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now. For all my sisters and brothers, because for my city, I'm dead. It's amazing to see that from the struggle. Born again from a life of trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, the shit got me feeling plain. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted, we hear the truth and reject it. But love is getting corrected, and all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and I'm blessed. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and I'm blessed. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon.
Hey, Shalom Israel. This is a public service announcement to all the sisters out there. You already know what time it is. Them Passover corsages is blooming absolutely right this year. If you a married sister, rock that red corsage. And for all the single sisters out there, the white corsage was made just for you. Stop playing. You cannot be Passover ready without rocking one of these. Just $10 to complete that fit for the Lord's 54th annual Passover. Pre-order yours now. Click the link below for more info. For just $10, I got a feeling that this is just the right batch of flowers to have you looking on point and official. Sisters, make it your business to get you one, and we hope to see you there. Shalom Israel.
So I spit juju, I taste the whole thing. Taking my style, I'm far from a lane, girl, just let me put it down, baby. She on the road, can't get around in my coupe, me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make you mine? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true. I taste the whole thing. Check out my style. I'm far from a lane, girl, just want me put it.
Oh, damn. The whole time my mic was muted. Nobody said nothing. No sound. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Beck. So let me start this from the top. Shalom. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabarakatha to all my brothers. Yahweh Shemalatha Bashim, Yahweh Shah to all my sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And what we do is we teach the Blacks, Hispanic, and Native that they are God's true and only chosen people. And with that comes the responsibility to follow his law, statutes, and commandments, which dictates us how to love one another. It teaches us how to show brotherhood to our own people, which is a beautiful thing. And it's not that hard. It's not that difficult. And that's all the law is about. You know what I'm saying? So, today's class is about how the Bible is stolen Black history because our oppressor likes to show himself in the Bible. Everybody in the Bible is him. Everybody in the Bible is white. Everybody in the Bible is Caucasian. The Egyptians are Caucasian. God is Caucasian. Jesus is Caucasian. Moses, King David, King Saul, everybody in the Bible is Caucasian if you leave it up to our oppressor. But that's not reality. So I want to show you how the Bible is really for one people and who those people are, which is the Black, Hispanic, and Native people. That's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? So what I would like you to do is if you have any questions at all, just type them on in and we're going to get with it. Just type in any of your questions. If you got any question about the Bible, Any questions about the subject matter? I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability. If I don't know the answer, guess what? I'm not ashamed to say it. And I will go to a brother that does know the answer, because I could lean on to my own understanding, say this and say that, and it'll end up destroying you even more. You'll end up more confused than you were when you asked the question. And that's not what we're about. We're about giving you definitive answers. You know what I'm saying? So if you can, type in your questions at any point during this class. But as of right now, I would like to go to Psalms 147. And if you're on Clapper, those on Clapper, if you want to see the scriptures I'm typing in, go to YouTube, go to Facebook, and I'll be typing them into the chat. You most likely be able to see them on YouTube. But just type them on in. I mean, go over there, you'll be able to see it. You go to YouTube, you see it's YouTube, Boston, no cowards. Boston, no cowards as one word. All right. So we're going to Psalms 147, 19 through 20. This is one of my favorite milk scriptures. This is milk. This is something that should be easy to digest. It should be very easy to digest this. It's about as simple as it gets. It's not that complex. You know what I'm saying? So let's get with it. Psalms. Here we go. Psalms 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. What is that telling y'all? He showeth his words, his statutes, and his commandments. What is his words, his statutes, and his commandments? That's what you must ask yourself. What is that? His words, statutes, and commandments is the Bible. It is the law, statutes, and commandments. And he showed that to Israel. Not everybody. He showed it to Israel. Let me read that from the top again. Verse 19. He showeth his words unto Jacob, his statutes, his judgment unto Israel. About as simple as it gets. That's one nation of people. Those are the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob and Israel is the same person, the same forefather. His name was changed to Israel when he wrestled with an angel, and he gave the angel a good fight. And the Most High changed his name from Jacob to Israel. Now, with that being said, he gave his word, statutes, and commandments unto him. That's his covenant. You know what I'm saying? That's the covenant. You know what I'm saying? He gave that to Israel, not everybody. Not everybody. It says Israel. I'm going to prove it even further. Let's read verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation. He has not dealt so with any nation. Let me put it to you in simple terms. You have children, right? And you tell your kids, you are telling your kids to not play in the neighbor's yard. Do not play in the neighbor's yard. If you play in the neighbor's yard, you're going to get a beating, you're going to get a spanking, whatever. You're going to be on punishment, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You give that to your kids. But their friends end up playing in that yard. Would you punish the friends, or would you punish your kids if they played in that yard? You will punish your kids. And that's how people got to see the Most High as a father. And he gave his laws, he gave his rules, he gave his commandments unto us, blacks, Hispanic, and natives. That's why we are the ones getting punished for breaking them. Everybody eats pork. Black people eat pork, Asians, you know what I'm saying? Everybody eats pork. Shalom, just started paint. Shalom, sis. Everybody eats pork. But who is suffering from high blood pressure? Who is suffering from gout, high cholesterol? Who is suffering from all types of dietary problems because we are breaking the Most High's laws? Blacks, Hispanic, and natives. We the ones that suffer the most for doing it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else suffers as much as we do about eating. We all eat the same thing. Asians eat crab, crab and lobster and shellfish. But are they the ones with these dietary problems? No. It's black, Hispanic, and natives. Because the law was given unto us, not everybody. Everybody practices in homosexuality, every nation on this planet. But who's the one that ranks highest in AIDS, HIV, and what's that new joint? Where they get spots all over their face and they end up ugly as hell. Monkeypox. Who's the highest in monkeypox? Blacks, Hispanic, and natives. We break the law like there's an old saying that fits with it. When the white people catch a cold, black people catch a flu. So we could be doing the same thing as them, but it's going to affect us 3 times worse. You know what I'm saying? Because the law was given unto black people, not everybody. Let's continue. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Which is exactly what I was just saying. They ain't gonna understand his statutes. They ain't gonna understand his commandments. They ain't gonna understand his judgment because they don't feel it. They don't feel that. They don't feel that at all. But we do. We do. Know why? Because this book was given unto us. But first, let me prove a few things. Let's get into how this book is more about us than we would like to believe. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and let's get through some of these curses. We're going to go through a few of these curses, probably like 4 or 5 of them, to get a good understanding on what the hell this is about. Get a good understanding of what we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because this book was meant for us. This is our mail. This is our history. This is our letters. This is our accounts. These are our records. This ain't no We Are the World book. No other nation got a We Are the World book but black people. But black people. That's why we are the only people that's about We Are the World to this day. We got to love everybody, but everybody don't love us. We got to forgive everybody, but everybody don't forgive us. We got to help everybody, but everybody don't help us. That's more proof that the Bible is about us. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and start with verse 15. Let me type it on in so we get a quick understanding. All right, Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now, this is a prophecy. This is a prophecy that if we break God's laws, these curses shall overtake us. Peep it. Everybody's breaking God's laws. Every nation on this planet is breaking God's laws. So whoever is affected by these curses should be clear evidence who this book is about. It should be clear evidence, but I know due to Christianity, y'all won't see it. I know due to Christianity, y'all will be blind to it. But we're going to go through a few of these curses. How can I say it without sounding so demanding? I beg you to read this chapter in full and tell me what does not fit the Black, Hispanic, and Native community. You know what I'm saying? So the next verse we're going to go to is let's go to the very next verse. Let's go to the very next verse. Deuteronomy 28 and 16. All right. We're going to go to the very next one, Deuteronomy 28 and 16, and see how that works out. We're going to see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? And see who that fits. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Now we know that no matter where we go as Black, Hispanic, and Natives, we're cursed everywhere we go. We are at the bottom everywhere we go. There's a nation of people who claim to be God's people who is on top of everything. They are not cursed in no city. You speak a bad word about them, you speak negatively about them, the whole world is on your neck. You could lose 3.8 billion. 3.8 billion in a day if you mess with them. Me personally, I don't think they are cursed in the city or the field. They own the Diamond District. They run Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? They run music. You know what I'm saying? They run almost every industry that concerns Black lives, period. So literally, I do not think they are the ones that's cursed in the city or the field. But the average Black man, he goes to the city, his last hired, first fired. He's either strung out on all types of drugs. He's either going through hell with his woman, hell with his kids. There is not an inch of peace for the average Black, Hispanic, or Native man in the city. The field could be, equated to a rural area, a place where there's not many people, or it could be equated to a place where you work. Because people work in the fields, right? We are last hired, first fired. We are getting the crumbs and the bare minimum. We fought for equal employment opportunity, and we don't even benefit from that the most. Asians do. East Indians do. White women do. Everybody benefits off of equal employment opportunity but us. We are still last to be hired, no matter what our qualifications are. You know what I'm saying? That's the hell that we are in. That's straight up and down the hell that we are in. So who does that fit more? Who does that fit? I mean, we all break God's laws, but who does that one curse fit? That one curse fits almost every Black, Hispanic, and Native person on this planet. There's brothers right now working 3 jobs just to make ends meet. There's a brother right now selling crack to his own mother just to make his ends meet, and hers too. We are in hell. Straight up and down, we are in hell. We are in hell so much that we take all types of drugs just to deal with it. Like when a black person takes drugs, it's different from when a white person takes drugs. White people take it to have a good time, to party, to open up. You know what I'm saying? To try to see all types of other astral planes or whatever the hell they be thinking. You know, they dummies. But when we take drugs, when we drink alcohol, we are trying to deal with some pain. And let's go to another one. Let's go to another one. Let me find it. Let's go to let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 28. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 28. Let's see what this one's talking about. I'll give y'all a second to get there. It's only a few verses down. And I implore you to ask any question. If you ask any question, just type them on in. I'll see them. Just type them on in. I definitely will see your questions. You know what I'm saying? This is a Black, Hispanic, and Native thing. You know what I'm saying? If you got an issue with that, I suggest that you just walk away. I'm only testing Clapper right now. I'm testing Clapper. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. Let's continue. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness. What does smite mean? What does smite mean? Let's look that up. Let's look that up for your edification. Why is that popping up? Let's look up the word smite. Smite. In the Merriam-Webster dictionary, right? Past tense, smote, smitten, or smote, smiting. You know, those are synonyms for it. You know what I'm saying? Transitive verbs. Smite is a transitive verb. It means to strike sharply or heavily, especially with the hand or an implement held in the hand. So that means to hit with something, strike with something. Guess what? We are stricken with madness. We are stricken with madness. I want you to remember these definitions. Definition 2, to kill, to severely injure by smiting. We are killed with madness. We are injured with madness. It's all going to be clear in a second. Just stick with me. To attack or to afflict. We are attacked with madness. We are afflicted with madness. To cause, to strike. To affect, as if by striking. We are affected by madness. Let's see what madness means. Let's get what definition of madness. Madness, noun, the quality or state of being mad, such as a state of severe mental illness, not used technically. So it's not a technical definition. Behavior or thinking that very foolish or dangerous, extreme folly, intense anger, any of several ailments of animals marked with frenzied behavior, like rabies. Like, let me make this clear to you. We are stricken with madness. We all remember, every nation breaks laws. Every nation is breaking God's laws. Every nation is having all types of orgies and sexual deviancy. Every nation is having all types of drug use. Every nation is involved in some type of violence. Every nation is doing these things. Every nation is breaking God's laws, including us. But who is stricken with madness? Who is stricken with madness? I know you saying this is the last days. Everybody's crazy. Yes, that's true. But who is affected by it? Who is stricken by it? Let me tell you something. You have two, let's say, you have a white kid that is suffering from, I don't know, depression. He's suffering from depression. He's being bullied in school. He goes to school. He shoots everybody and kills them. Guess what the news is going to bring out? The news is going to bring out his mental illness. Know why? Because they want you to have compassion on him. They want you to love him. They want you to seek some type of compassion so his punishment won't be as bad. So the police could take him to McDonald's or Burger King when they arrest him for the crimes he committed. Now, let's say a black woman just with an even worse mental illness of bipolar. A black woman with bipolar gets pulled over. She had a rough day, gets pulled over by the cops and just cusses the cops out. And she's dead. She's dead. And you know what the news is going to bring up? Her past. News is going to bring up all types of things she did in the past. All types of issues with her family and stuff like that. She is affected by her madness. She is affected by her mental illness. You know what I'm saying? Our mental illness of Stockholm syndrome as black people got people like Michael B. Jordan not wanting to play black characters. That is smitten with madness. He's a black man. What other character are you going to play? An Asian? Oh, because Tom Cruise played The Last Samurai. You think you could do the same? That's another proof that this book is not about them. It's about us. We are smitten with madness. We have all types of issues, and it affects us. Our issues ain't looked upon as our issues ain't looked upon with sympathy. Our poverty ain't looked upon with sympathy. Our oppression ain't looked upon with sympathy. We went through over 400 years of slavery and oppression, and yes, we are still slaves to this day. And that man that's sitting in the White House that y'all Negroes voted for, is giving more money to Ukraine. I'll tell you, the money that he gave to Ukraine could have possibly solved that reparation issue that y'all want so much. But they would tell you in a heartbeat that they don't have it. But you would continue to beg and beg and beg and beg them for love and compassion, and they won't have it. That shows you that you're smitten with madness. You keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again. We keep on marching, we keep on protesting, we keep on rioting, we keep on joining their system, being black cops, killing other black men. We join their system being black politicians, stealing from the black community. We do everything for their love and affection and approval because we are smitten with madness. And are we getting it? No, because we are smitten with madness. It's just that simple. We are straight up and down smitten with madness. You know what I'm saying? So let's get with it. Let's get with it. Let's find another one. Let's find another one. Let's find another curse real quick. I said I'm going to try to get through 5 before we go to the next subject. So let's go with no, let's continue this. Let's continue this one. Let's continue this one. Let's not go. Hold on. Look like we got a question by Bobby Delavu, and it says, "Hey brother, who are the Amorites and who are the Midians?" And I guess he means Midianites, right? All right. The Amorites and the Midianites, they are older people than us. I don't know what you mean, what you're trying to get at with the question. Sorry, I tread lightly. I mean, what are you trying to what are you trying to know? They are different people. They are not Israelites. What you want to know if they're Ham, Japheth, Shem? What you want to know? Who are they today? What do you want to know? Clarify that question for me real quick. You say yeah, but I need to know what year, what you year into. What specifically do you want to know about them? Because saying who they are, I mean, I can break down. I mean, I can't break down their whole history, but you know, that question would lead to breaking down their whole history. Are there Muslims as of today? Well, Muslim is the second biggest religion in the planet. Hell, I could say Muslims are in every nation, even the Amorites and Midianites. Are they descendants of Ishmael? I can't answer that right now. I can't remember. They might be descendants of Ishmael, but I have to let me write that down so I can ask somebody. And I would definitely have that question to you. And you're on YouTube. You're on YouTube. As of right now, I do vaguely remember the breakdown, but it's not on me full fold right now. So I will get back to you to know if they are the modern day Muslims, which I do believe you mean Arabics, because Muslims are those who practice Islam. You know what I'm saying? But are they the modern day Arabics? I believe they might descend from Ishmael, but don't take that as definitive. Let me get that information. I'll get back. I'll send that straight to you on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And I'll answer it next week too. All right. So, Slocky, but that was a good question actually. I ain't gonna hold you. But where's I at? Where's I at? Oh yeah, I was going to continue with it, right? Verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. Like, if you know about noonday is when the sun's at its highest peak, everything's bright, everything's lit up. You know what I'm saying? The sun is shining. It's a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing. The sun is shining. And if you have eyes that work, you should be able to see. But you're groping at noonday as the blind gropes in darkness. So no matter how much light there is, you still won't be able to see. So us as black people, no matter how much evidence we got in our face that our enemy is our enemy, we still won't see it. No matter what we reaching for, or of this equality and this, you know, everybody being seen as one nation and this melting pot and all this stuff, this American dream and this democracy, we're reaching for it, but we're reaching for it like a blind man groping in darkness. Like, you're reaching for it, but you are nowhere near grabbing it. You are nowhere near attaining it. That dream will not be attained. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all caught the news earlier, but Joe Biden straight up and down disrespected his own people today. How much respect you think he's gonna have for you? They were asking about the UFOs, you know, those balloons that were floating across the country. He gave them some BS answer. He goes in the back, the mic's still on. He said, "Yo, think they believe that BS?" The aide said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, they'll buy anything. They'll believe anything." And guess what? It's parallel to you. If they will buy anything from him, and if he will sell them anything, imagine what he's selling you. He sold you on that you ain't black if you vote for Trump. He sold you on that because you damn sure well didn't vote for Trump. But let me one up him. You ain't black if you vote at all. I said it. You ain't black if you vote at all. Oh, what's up, Bobby? Type in your next question. You don't gotta say Salakia or Baba Kashar. Just type it on in, man. But straight up and down, you ain't black at all if you vote. But that's one of the curses that we went through. Right there. You know what I'm saying? Let me read that from the top again. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. So no matter how much we beg, no matter how much we march, no matter how much we riot, no matter how much we what they call assimilate, no matter how much we assimilate, guess what? We're gonna forever be oppressed. This is a curse for those who broke the law. Guess who broke the law? Everybody breaks the law. But who is forever oppressed? Blacks, Hispanics, and natives. That's it. Those are the only people that is forever oppressed. Blacks, Hispanics, and natives. Nobody else. Who you gonna say is oppressed? Oh, Ukraine's being oppressed by Russia? That's the same people. Russia just wants his brother by his side again. Little brother just wants all the money that the enemy is able to provide. But nevertheless, that's not our fight. We don't got a horse in that race at all. You know what I'm saying? And no man shall save you. No man shall save us. Who's out there trying to help us? Who's out there trying to solve our issues? Who's out there trying to make things better for Black, Hispanic, and natives? Only one man I can think of, and that's Commander General Yahan. That's the only man I could think of that's doing it. Nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is looking out for Blacks, Hispanic, and natives, period. You know what I'm saying? But Commander General Yohana. You know what I'm saying? Let's get with it. Let's find another one. Let's find another one. I'm gonna try to get two more. Matter of fact, here let's continue. Let's continue to the next verse. That one's very common. Deuteronomy 28 and 30. Let's get with that one. That one should be very common. Everybody should be able to understand it. It should not be that difficult, right? Thou shalt betroth a wife. What does it mean to betroth a wife? I mean, there's a woman that you're with. That's your woman. That's your sweet, tender thing. That's your pillow of rest. That's your pillow of peace. That's your woman, right? And another man shall lie with her. Oh, damn. Let me break that down. We all break the law. Yes. Every nation breaks the law. But let me break this down first from a historical perspective. When we came here as slaves, black men and black women were marrying each other, formally and informally. Jumping the brooms or just laying with each other and just staying with each other. We were linked together. Because even once upon a time, it was illegal for us to get legally married, which is not a problem. It's not our culture anyway. But we had our wives. And guess what another man did with her? Another man straight up raped her in front of us, tied us, threatened us, had guns pointed at us. Actually, some accounts, the brother would be hanging, and as he hung, they were raping his woman. Like these are the people that you look for approval from. These are the people that you love and that you're groping and reaching for love from. But they would take your woman and they would lay with her. And that would straight up and down destroy that woman. Have her all types of destroyed, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And the pain that that black woman goes through is stretched out even to this day. To be used as a sexual object to the point to nowadays it's accepted. It is a badge of honor and a badge of glory to be seen beautiful in the eyes of everybody. Once upon a time, a woman did not want to seem beautiful unless it was to the eyes of the man that she wanted. But now a woman just wants attention from any and everybody. Any and everybody. Attention, attention, attention. That's what this world has come down to for our women. And any man that will show her the smallest amount of attention can get that box. That's why us fathers are needed in the black household. Because we give our daughters that attention as they grow, they won't be starved for it when they get older. And they won't fall for the cheap tricks. As men, you know the cheap tricks that you do. I'm going to get into that a little later too. You know what I'm saying? But these men will lay with our women, and today our women will be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you know what I'm saying, OnlyFans. I mean, I haven't seen any incidents with this clapper yet. I ain't going front. I'm kind of happy that this clapper ain't got women twerking all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Clapper ain't got women like that. But clapper's pretty new. But that's what the world has us black, Hispanic, and Native women, or black, Hispanic, and Native women doing. And they will lay with any man for a trip to Cabo, a trip to Havana, a trip across the world. That's the world we live in. And nowadays you get locked up for whatever dumb thing that you did or for whatever innocent thing that you did not do. Black men just get locked up. It's completely out of our control. And your woman will lay with another man. There's less than 1% of women that will not. And those men that do it are absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But let's find another one. No, let's finish this one. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Like, I'm going to make this one as broad as possible. I can make it very specific, but let's make it as broad as possible, right? Benjamin Banneker, he designed Washington, D.C. as a whole and the White House. He built that house. He ain't staying it. No black man has stayed in that house to this day. And yes, Obama's not a black man. He's an African. But no black man been in the house to this day. They would never vote a black man in. They would never vote a Tyrone or Junebug or none of them. No. You see, what was that brother that was so, what was his name? Ben Carson. They ain't vote Ben Carson in. And let me tell you, Ben Carson probably been a more suitable president than Obama. But they ain't vote him in. Know why? Because he's a Negro. He's a black man. He's a descendant of slaves. You know what I'm saying? So they never vote him in. But they will vote Obama in. They will do that. And let me tell you something. We built houses. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't understand the significance we had in the space race. There would be no space race if it wasn't for black women. Heart surgery, a lot of white people be dead right now if it wasn't for a black man. You know what I'm saying? The cell phone would not be here right now working the way it is if it wasn't for a black man. You know what I'm saying? GPS would not exist if it wasn't for a black woman. You know what I'm saying? A lot of modern technology. I could go to some old joints, but y'all probably don't even use most of those anymore. So let's stick to the modern joints. Everybody like to say, "Hey, how you talking about the white man and using the white man's technology?" Yo, look, white man's only technology is the patent office. That's his only technology. He steals ideas, and that's it. He has no technology. Everything is on us. Think he invented the gun? No, Asians did. White man didn't invent the gun. Was it for Asian gunpowder in their firecrackers, there would be not a bullet on this planet. So no, our oppressor did not invent a thing except for the patent office, and that's it. He didn't even invent oppression. Egyptians invented that. Actually, that might even go before Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? He invented nothing. You know what I'm saying? But let's go to one last verse real quick. Hold on. Did I finish that? No, let me finish this. And thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Like, we work for this country. Mind you, everybody breaks God's laws, but this only affects a certain group of people. We built this country. We planted the seeds, and we're not harvesting the fruit of it. We're still begging for reparations. When we built all this, the cotton gin, you know how important the cotton gin was to American Revolution? And black people invented that. But do we benefit from it? Nah, not at all. Hell, even your favorite drinks. Jack Daniels stole from Uncle Nearest. Their Uncle Nearest is the original Jack Daniels. I'm happy Uncle Nearest is getting his just due now, but that's hundreds of years past. Hundreds of years past. So who do these scriptures fit? None but blacks, Hispanic, and natives. Let's go to one more. Let's go to one more in I beg you to read all of Deuteronomy 28. I beg you to read it all. Let's go to one more in Deuteronomy. Let's go to the kit and caboodle. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Like, let me tell you something. At that time, they walked out of Egypt, crossed the river. The Lord split it open for them to cross it, so they continued to walk. If they had to go back in slavery, you think the Lord won't split that river back open, that lake back open, that sea, split it back open so they could walk back into slavery? Let me tell you something. Egypt is a Greek word for bondage. It's gyptos. It means bondage. The actual biblical name for that land is actually called Mizraim. Mizraim. But Egypt was so famous for slavery that it gained the name Egypt, which actually just means bondage. It means slavery. So what we are doing is going back into slavery. Like there's numerous scriptures that says Egypt, house of bondage in the Bible. It tells you Egypt is the house of bondage. But the actual name of that land is Mizraim. That's one of the sons of Ham who occupied that land in that space. So Mizraim is actually the name of that land. So are we going back into Mizraim by ships? No, we're going back into Egypt by ships. We're going back into bondage by ships. Right? Now, are we the only people that went to slavery by ships? No. But there's more detail that I haven't read yet. Because we all break God's laws. We all break God's laws. But who went into slavery by ships? But let's continue. By way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt not see it no more again. So the way that we left, we ain't going to see that no more. That land that we left, we ain't going to see that. The way we walked out of, we ain't going to see that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like there's Caucasians in that land right now. They see it. There's Arabs in that way right now. They see it. There's Asians and Africans in that land right now. They see it. And none of them are oppressed in it. But let's continue. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Be sold unto your enemies. Let's continue. For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Who is being sold unto their enemies? Being sold by their enemies, being sold unto the enemies. Let me tell you something. When we actually escaped in 70 AD, the persecution of the Romans, guess where we fled? When we had to run from the persecution of the Romans, we fled into Africa, we fled into Europe, We fled everywhere, but the majority of us fled into Africa. Know why? Dark skin blends in with dark skin. I mean, if we were white, we would stick out like a sore thumb amongst the Africans. And the Romans looking for us, they would have found us easily, very easily. You know what I'm saying? So we fled into Africa, and then we got picked up by Africans and kidnapped by Africans and sold unto Europeans and brought to America. So we were sold unto our enemies. Believe it or not, against what America used to teach. They don't even teach that no more. They used to teach that they took us, that they went in and they flexed their muscle and they just started kidnapping Africans and taking them over to America. But no, it was brought out that even Ghana apologized for their hand in it. The president of Ghana apologized for the Ghanaians' hand in the slave trade. He apologized for it because he knows that they had a hand in it. Not just them, Nigerians, so forth and so on, a whole bunch of people, whole bunch of Africans from the north to the south had a hand in our enslavement. They kidnapped us and sold us to Europeans. Mansa Musa made a big chunk of change off of our enslavement. They like to brag about how he was the richest man ever, which ain't true. His riches didn't touch King Solomon's. Riches did not touch King Solomon's at all. King Solomon had buildings made of gold. So this Mansa Musa got rich off of us because they kidnapped us and sold us to our enemies, which made them our enemies too. And no man was able to save us from it. Because if you think about it, no man shall buy you. What does the word buy mean? Buy means to redeem. When you are in a store, you are redeeming a purchase. You are redeeming that product and you're taking it home. You are redeeming it. No man was able to redeem us. No man was able to save us. No man was able to help us. Not one African came over the Atlantic in his little canoe and a little blowgun and shot one blow dart at any of these Europeans for us. Not one. Who does that fit? We all break laws, but who does that fit? That only fits us. That only fits us. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? That only fits us as a people. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's get with Songs of Solomon 1 and 5. We're going to show you how much, like, we went through some curses, some prophecy on who this book is supposed to be for. I proved to you that this book was supposed to be given to one group of people. And those were the people, the descendants of Jacob, the descendants of Israel. And then I proved that those people were going to go through some curses. Now, who are going through those curses? If you got questions, you can ask them. If I ain't convinced you quite yet, ask your question. You know what I'm saying? Ask your question. But let's go to Songs of Solomon, which is literally after Ecclesiastes in the Bible. Songs of Solomon. Give you a couple more seconds to get there. Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black, but comely. The Christian pastor would like to tell you that there ain't no color in the book, but this man just said, I am black, but beautiful. Hold on. Let's get with it with a sec. I don't want you to take my word for it. I got to figure out what the word comely means, so you won't be thinking that it's something that it's not. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be making up nothing for it. Here we go. 5, 4, 3. It's there. Comely. It's an adjective. If you don't know what that's, something that describes something else. Pleasurably conforming to notions of good appearance, suitably or proportion, having a pleasing appearance, not homely or plain. Comeliness. So basically, he was saying, I'm black and fly. I'm black and beautiful. I'm black and beautiful. That was a big phrase in the 70s. I'm black and beautiful was a big phrase in the 70s. And who would have thought that King Solomon said it first? King Solomon said, I am black and comely. I am black and beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Let's finish that up. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar. So he's bragging to the women. See, that's another thing. All these other nations are humble to their women. Black, Hispanic, and Native men, we are not. If we know we fly and we know it, we're going to let it be known. And King Solomon let it be known. He told all the daughters of Jerusalem, check me out. I'm as dark as the tents of Kedar. And the word Kedar in Hebrew actually means black. I'm as dark as the tents of black. I'm black and beautiful. It's, black tents back in the day will fly, I guess. I'm black and beautiful as the tents of Kedar. Black's my favorite color. So, what I'm saying, mess around, my tent will be as black as can be too. And I don't think it's the flyest tent on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has bravado like we do. And King Solomon, if you read his words, he is full of bravado. Yes, he had the right. He wisest man ever, next to Christ. Only one wiser than him was Christ. But King Solomon, he had that bravado that every black, Hispanic, and Native man has. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't scared to show it. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. As the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. You know what I'm saying? Look not like that. That's where I wanted to go. We're gonna drop that. Like, people need to understand that if King Solomon is black, why do they that? What does that mean for King David? What does it mean for his predecessors? That means King David was black. King David is the son of Judah. That means Judah was black. Judah is the son of Israel. That means Israel was black. Israel the son of Isaac, and Isaac the son of Abraham. That means they're black. Abraham's the son of Shem. Shem is the son of Noah. So forth and so on. And they're black. But let's continue. Let's drop that for a sec. And let's get Acts 13 and 1. Let's get Acts 13 and 1. Acts 13 and 1. Yeah, we go into the New Testament for you Christians. You Christians that like to act like, you know what I'm saying? Acts 13 and 1. Give me a second to get there with y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all got there before me because I got this Bible with the extra thin pages. You turn one page, it's like you're turning 30. Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers. Like there was a church in Antioch. You know what I'm saying? There's a school, there's a band of brothers in Antioch, right? As Barnabas and Simeon that were called Niger. These brothers were called Niger. If you know the root word of the word niger, the root word of that word, because you know, if I say the whole word, I get banned now. But the root word of that is Niger. It's the definition of that word does not mean ignorant like we was taught. You look it up in a dictionary, that's not even in there. It's not. The word literally just means black. You know what I'm saying? And the root word is Niger, which means black. And you say Niger with a southern drawl. Say it with a southern drawl, Niger. You know what I'm saying? You stretch out that G a bit. And you emphasize on that R a little more. Henceforth, why is the way it is now. It's not that complex. Is it disrespectful when they say it? Yes, and you should take it as full disrespect. Even though you know it does not mean ignorant, you should still take it as disrespect. Excuse me. That were called Niger, and Simeon was called Salakia, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod at Tetrarch and Saul. Like these are the disciples. These ain't regular average men. These are the disciples of Christ. You know what I'm saying? And disciples of Christ are literally being called Nigers. They're literally being called the same thing we've been called forever. So what should I tell you? If this is not a black book, I don't know what is. So that tells you that the disciples are black. King Solomon's black. The disciples are black. I know they want to. I know you seen the Passion, what it's called, Passion of Christ, that Mel Gibson flick, and you believe that body was white. You seen those, you know, you believe Christ is white. You believe all of them are white, but no. I'm going to prove to you today that they were called Nigers. Even Saul was called a Niger. Barnabas, a Niger. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Let's continue. Let's go to Jeremiah 14 and 2. Hold on, let me pass Jeremiah quickly that time. Whoa, I usually get to Jeremiah quick. All right, if you're there with me, you're there with me. Come on. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judith mourneth, like Judah mourneth. Judah's in a depressed state. Judah's down and out. No different from today. Judah is down and out. They're mourning. You know what I'm saying? Walk through Dudley. You're going to see Judah mourning. Walk through Mass Ave, walk through Mission, walk through OP, walk through Heath Street, walk through Academy. You're going to see Judah mourning. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. The gates thereof languish. What are the gates? What do black people always complain about? Black people love to say nowadays, we have no leaders. Saying that we have no leaders is equivalent to saying we have no gates. Because what is a gate meant to do? A gate is meant to protect your home. A gate is meant to protect you. Keep the bad things out and keep what you want in. That's what a gate is built for. Guess what? Our gates language. Our gates are weak. Our gates are broken. Our gates are terrible. And our gates, look at our gates. Who would you say is a gate? Al Sharpton? Jesse Jackson? How about Omar? What's his name? The Umar dude. The brother was supposed to make a school. It took him forever to even have a notion of it. Who you think? Polite? Who you think is the gates of black people today? Farrakhan? Farrakhan ain't no gate. That man had a march said justice or else. Sound real tough, sound real strong. Justice or else. March. And right after that, justice or else, the very next day, Tamir Rice's killers were acquitted. The men who killed a 12-year-old kid that's playing in the park with a toy gun, like any normal 12-year-old kid, there's toy guns. If you have a problem with toy guns, stop making toy guns. But you see a black kid playing with a toy gun at 12-year-old, guess what you do? They killed him. And then they got off from it. So that justice or else, there was no or else. It just sounds tough, real tough talk. Real tough talk. And if there was a brother who believed that tough talk, if the brother that stood on that tough talk or else, guess what would have happened to that brother? That brother would have been killed. And there would have been no nation of Islam standing behind him, not one. But it was justice or else. Farrakhan is not suited to lead black people. He's not built for it. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Hold on. Did I read all that? I think I did. Hold on. No. The gates thereof languish. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. Hold on. It said they are black unto the ground. When you look at the ground, you got to remember there was no concrete back then. There was no concrete. There was no asphalt. It was tar, but it wasn't like meant for street building. So you're looking at the ground. What actual color do you see? Besides the green grass, because you know no humans are green. You know, I know our person like to say that Christ was olive tone, but olives come in two colors, green or black. So which one was he, green or black? But if you think about it, right? You look at the ground. The ground comes in many shades of brown. You pick up a hand of dirt, each grain of dirt is a different color. And that's what blacks, Hispanics, and natives are. We are different hues of that brown. Us being called black has nothing to do with our look. It has to do with our identity. Black is a mystery. It's a mystery color. Being called black means we are absent of our history. We are absent of the knowledge of who we are. That's why Africans do not really say they are black. They are starting to now because they're mad at the fact that we are taking the word as our own. But before they used to say they are their tribe. They would know it down to their tribe, not just their country, not just their nationality, but they will break it down to their tribe. I am Fulani. I am Igbo. You know what I'm saying? I am certain, whatever, all the other, Hamite. They had it down pat, but they want to be included. And the sad part is a lot of us are allowing it. But I digress. Let's finish this up real quick. Did I finish that? They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is going up. Yo, the Most High hears our cries. The Most High hears our cries. He hears every last one of it, but he don't see our actions with those cries, man. Our tears just ain't enough. Remember, you're a parent. The Most High is a parent. Your child does something messed up. Are their tears good enough to solve that issue? Are their cries good enough to solve that issue? You hear it. You hear the tears, but you want some action to go behind that. And those actions is what I'm telling y'all to do today, which is follow the law, statutes, and commandments of God. Are you doing that? But let's drop that. Let's get now that we know Judah is black, let's go to Hebrews 7 and 14. Oops, damn, I'm past that one again. All right, let's get it. Let me type it on in. I forgot to type that in. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. Like, it is a sure thing, and it's clear as day. It is evident. It is about as sure as can be that he is a Judite. Christ is a Judite. Our Lord is a Judite. And what did we read about Judah? Judah is black unto the ground. Judah is black unto the ground. So that means Jesus is black. He is a descendant of Judah. He's a descendant of King David. He's a descendant of King Solomon. He is a Judite. He is black unto the ground, and his gates languish. Judah, Christ is a Judite. Plain and simple. Let's continue. Let's finish it off, actually. Let's finish it off. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. Like, that was an issue, especially to a lot of these Pharisees and Sadducees. They didn't understand that we were a nation of priests. We were a nation of prophets. But he's a Judite. And the Levites was the one that was concerning the priesthood. But the promise was concerning Judah. It was given to King David specifically. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother subject. But to prove that Christ is a Judite, Judah is black unto the ground, let's go into the actual description of Christ. Because they would like to show you a white Christ, a white Jesus. Let's go to Revelations 1. Let's start with verse 2. Let's start with verse 2 real quick. This is the last book in the Bible. I'm going to give y'all a couple seconds to get there. Revelation chapter 1, verse 2. Matter of fact, I got time to type this in. Revelations 1 and 2 through 15. I'm not going to read 2 through 15. I'm probably going to just skip a couple of verses. But let's continue. Revelation chapter 1, verse 2. Who bear record of the... let's start with 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him. Like, the word revelation means to reveal. It means to reveal something. It's to show something. It's to put out there. You know what I'm saying? And this is the putting out there of Christ. This is the revealing of Christ. This is the showing of Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. So the revealing of Christ and on how he and the thing that's to come to pass. This is a prophetic book. This is prophetic. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. And he sent and signified it by his angels unto his servant John. John's called John the Revelator for a reason, because John is the one that wrote this book. He's the one that revealed Christ. These words are being spoken to John. You know what I'm saying? That's the servant that it was speaking of, John, who bear record of the word of God. John bears this record. And of the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach, who y'all ignorantly call Jesus Christ. And of all things that he saw. This is of all things that John saw. This is everything that John saw. Everything that John saw. You know what I'm saying? Let's drop down to 12. I think let's drop down to 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. So when he turned, he heard Christ's voice. And when he turned, he saw 7 golden candlesticks. Those 7 golden candlesticks represent the 7 churches that he was put over. You know what I'm saying? Actually, that Paul was put over. No, John was put over. Let's continue. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down unto the foot. So he's seen an image of a man clothed with a garment down to the foot. Like, remember, this is the revealing of Christ. So he is actually seeing Christ. And he's clothed with a garment down to the foot. You know what I'm saying? And girt about the paps with a golden girdle. My man had on a golden, belt, golden girdle. The girdle was something that covered your midsection. And that joint was made of gold. Because he's a Judite. If you know anything about, the Negroes, we like to look exceptionally and over the top fly. You know what I'm saying? A gold belt, a gold girdle is not something unreachable for us. It's quite clear Christ was a Judite. It's quite evident our Lord sprang out of Judah. Because my man had a gold girdle. I don't know if you know any Negroes, but Negroes would do anything, like somebody, like, you see what they're doing. They're doing anything to be as fly as can be. You see those Astro Boy shoes, and a lot of us are liking it. I'm not one. Now they got the new the Gundam joints. They got the Goku joints out there. You know what I'm saying? We would do anything to stand out and look fly, especially stand out. That's what we do as Judites. We try to stand out. We try to look better than everybody else. It's almost a competition. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Verse 14. His head and his hairs white like wool. So his head and his head on his face, his hair on his head, white like wool. So white the color, wool the texture. You know what I'm saying? So he had nappy hair, white nappy fro with a white nappy beard and a white nappy mustache. He had all that. That's what Christ had. And he would fly with it. Had on a dope garment and a golden girdle. Because he's a Judite. That's what Judites do. You know what I'm saying? It still looks scruffy and rough, because that's what we do. Have the full beard, mustache, grays all out. Forget that. Forget that what's that hair color and stuff, that just for men or whatever it is, that nah, let the grays show, let the grays shine. Verse 16. Oh no. 14. His were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. His eyes were red. You know, if you drink a little wine, you drink a little liquor, because Christ was also called a wine bibber, because Christ wasn't ashamed of drinking. But not just that, through the drinking and being the tireless work he did, his eyes tend to be red. You know what I'm saying? Because he's putting in that work. And not just that, he was sipping on a little something too. And his feet like unto fine brass. His feet was like unto fine brass. What does that mean? What does that mean? His feet was like unto fine brass. You know what brass look like? He got a brown key. Look at that joint. Look at that brown key. Guess what that brown key is made of? Brass. It's made of brass. But it was made of burnt brass, as if it burned in a furnace. If you burn white cotton in a furnace, what color is it? It is black. But it didn't say white cotton, it said brass. Know why? It was just a dark brown. Christ was Wesley Snipes black. Even Wesley Snipes ain't black. He's just a dark brown. You know what I'm saying? Christ was Wesley Snipes black. If his feet is that dark, or is the rest of his body? The rest of his body was like unto fine brass, as if it burned in a furnace. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. And his voice as the sound of many waters. I don't know if you've been by the ocean and all that. When you hear water just banging and clashing, and it's loud. It's loud. Christ was a loud man. He was loud. His voice roared. His voice sounded like the ocean. When he spoke, you heard him. That's what Christ was about. So not only was King Solomon black, not only was Christ black, not only is the whole tribe of Judah black, but let's go one more. Let's go a little deeper. Let's go to Daniel 7 and 9. Let's go to Daniel 7 and 9. And see who this is. Let's see who this is talking about. This is a prophecy coming from the prophet Daniel. This is a revelation coming from Daniel. Let's hear what it's talking about. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. So all the thrones that's on the earth, they were cast down, right? This is his vision. All the thrones were cast down. And the Ancient of Days did sit. So as the thrones were cast down, there's one person that sat on top. And that's the Ancient of Days. Who is the Ancient of Days? Who is the Ancient of Days? Who has been here as long as days have? Or white people will call him Father Time. Nah, the Ancient of Days. Who is the Ancient of Days? Let me tell you something. The Ancient of Days is God. The Ancient of Days is God. And how did the Ancient of Days look? What did the Ancient of Days look like? Let's continue. Whose garment was white as snow. He had on an all-white garment. The Ancient of Days had on an all-white garment. He was sitting back, sitting on, as all these other thrones are cast down, and he's the only one sitting. And he's in a white garment. It's white. Know why? He's giving orders. He didn't have to go into the war to cast down these thrones. He was given the orders to cast down those thrones. And his garment was clean, white as can be. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. And the hair of his head like the pure wool. Oh man. The hair on the Ancient of Days head was like pure wool. What's pure wool? That's wool that's untouched. You ever seen an untouched sheet? That is a nappy fro. That is a nappy fro. God had a fro. His hair like untouched wool. That's God. Let's continue. It's like his hair was like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. Like he was just as fly as can be, but as you can see, he had hair of wool. If God had hair of wool, who has hair of wool? Why don't our oppressor have hair of wool? Is there a connection? Thought he made us in his image. Why don't our oppressor look like him? You ask yourself that? He had hair of wool. But let's drop that. Now that we know that God is black, and the closest thing our white man's, our oppressor seen of that was Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman played God, what, in 2 movies, and next thing you know, his nickname was God. Because he played that role well. And it was more convincing than any other white man that played it. But all right, let's drop that. Let's let's get a little understanding on how black the Bible actually is. Let's go to Solomon 1 and 10. Songs of Solomon 1 and 10. All right, let me pop that up in there. Go to Songs of Solomon 1 and 10. Give you a second to get there. Let's show you how black this book is. Now, this is King Solomon again. Remember, this is the same chapter we read earlier when he's talking about I'm black and beautiful. He said, I'm black and beautiful. And a few verses down, peep what he said. Peep what he said. I know I ain't drink it, but watch. Peep what he said. Thy cheeks are comely. Now, we already know what comely is. He said, my cheeks are beautiful. My cheeks are beautiful. Why? Peep. With rows of jewels. with rows of jewels. What are the rows of jewels? The rows of jewels. His cheeks, beautiful rows of jewels. King Solomon had a grill, y'all. How can you put jewels in your mouth? How else can you put jewels in your cheeks? His teeth. King Solomon had gold teeth with jewels in it. Like people look at gold teeth as if it's a stain on the black community. No. Our ancestors were rocking gold teeth with jewels in them. With the sapphire, with the diamonds, with the rubies, with the emeralds. Shining, yang, rows of gold. But that's not just it. Let me show you how black the book gets again. Let's finish it. Thy neck with chains of gold, like bang bang. You see? Black culture once again. We are looked down upon for having, like, who remember that movie I'm Gonna Get You Sucker? They clown cats like Mr. T and all them for having all those gold chains. They clown the rappers. They clowned everybody for having all the gold chains. But guess what? The gold chains was black culture. The gold chains is what we've been doing since biblical times. No other culture been doing that. Every other culture looked down upon it till this day. A white man don't invest in gold unless it's in gold bricks. They ain't looking fly with it. To us, gold was an accessory. Shining in that. But hey, a lot of people don't think this is a black book. This ain't black culture. This is the white man's book. That's what y'all believe. Right? That's what y'all believe. But let me take it a little further. Let me take it a little further on how it's not the white man's book, right? Let's go to Isaiah 1 and 3. That's just a few pages over. It's the next book over. All right. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. The ox knows his owner. You know what I'm saying? And his master's crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows, you know what I'm saying? How may I put this? Who uses that term crib as a place of dwelling? The Bible speaks in slang terms. The Bible is not meant for everybody to understand. It's meant for blacks, Hispanics, and natives to understand. And since we are the ones that's gifted with a natural sense of context, it's a natural sense of context. That's why we speak in slang. So when we hear crib, we understand that's a dwelling. When other nations hear crib, they're thinking that's a place where a baby lays. Now let's continue. Let's read that from the top again. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, hold on, did I put that in there? Hold on, I did not put that scripture in there. Hold on, let me put it up in there. Isaiah 1 and 3. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. Like, all right, let's stick with the slang for a bit real quick to give you full understanding on where the scripture's going. Animals know where they belong. Animals know where they live. Animals know where they dwell. Animals know. But guess what? We are in America and we have no identity. We don't know where we belong. We have no idea where we belong. We don't know who we belong to, but the ox does. You know what I'm saying? The ass does. The donkey knows where his crib is. Where's your crib, black man? Where's your crib? You think you own a house? Nah, you don't own a house. I mean, you pay taxes on land that's supposed to be yours. If it's yours, why are you paying taxes? Why are you paying all these fees and all this stuff? Because it's not really yours. And the Native Americans show you every time that this land that they so-called giving you is not yours because they will take it from you and build some type of pipeline through it. You know what I'm saying? That land and that house you have is not yours. It's theirs. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that now. You know the Bible's speaking in slang and stuff. The Bible's speaking in all types of slang. Let's go to Leviticus 2 and 5. Let's go to Leviticus 2 and 5. Let's understand some more black culture that is in this. You know what I'm saying? Leviticus 2 and 5. Leviticus is like the third book. Leviticus is like the third book. Let me type it in here. Leviticus is like the third book. We're going to go into Leviticus chapter 2, verse 5. And it reads, and if thy oblation be a meat offering, baking in a pan. So if you are offering up some meat, guess what? Guess what? Guess how your priests and prophets like this meat? Let's listen. Let's listen. It shall be of fine flour, unleavened, mingled with oil. What happens when you put meat and flour and you mingle it with some oil? What happens to that? What happens to that? Imagine you got some chicken and you put some flour on it, and then you let that chicken with the flour on it mingle with some oil. What happens? What happens? Oh, that's fried chicken, baby. That's fried chicken. Yes, fried chicken is in the Bible. That is black culture. Fried meats is in the Bible. Who else is frying meats? We get clowned for eating so much fried chicken. It is darn near a stereotype. Yes, fried chicken is in the Bible. It's in like 20 verses. Eating fried meats mingled with oil and flour. Like it's a delicious thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's for the prophets. It's for the Most High loves the smell of it. The smell of fried chicken is a beautiful thing. Most High love the smell of that fried chicken, that meat mingled with flour and oil. It's a beautiful thing. But there's no black culture in the Bible. There's no black culture. It's not black culture. It's a white book. It's a white book. Don't worry about that. It's white people thing. Let's go to Exodus 22 and 16. Let's go back one more book to chapter 22, verse 16. Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. Like, I understand. They're like, what that have to do with black culture? People, when our enemies, when our oppressors get with their women, it's more of a natural getting to know you type thing. They meet at the workplace, exchange a few jokes, bang, bang. But when a black man meets a black woman, when a Hispanic man meets a Hispanic woman, when a Native man meets a Native woman, they got to spit some game. They got to entice them. They got to whisper a little something in the ear. You know how the yin yang twins said it. We got to entice our women. You know what I'm saying? It's just a sport. You got to have some game. You got to lay down some game. And they laugh as if that's some as if that's something weird or different. You know what I'm saying? As if that's something that's not normal, but it's very normal for us. Look, you try to get with a black woman just saying hi to her every day. Matter of fact, go to a black woman when you first see her and ask her for a date. Let's see how that goes. Just walk up to her, don't know her name, don't know nothing, say, hey, my name is whatever. Can I take you out for a date? Let's see how well that goes. Let's see how well that goes. It's not gonna go well. It's gonna go sad and shameful. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be sad and shameful. You gotta spit game to our women. That's black culture. Spitting game is black culture. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Let's continue. Let's go with Genesis 24:67. Genesis 24:67. Yeah, I don't know why I'm going backwards. I don't even know. I'm shocked I planned it this way. I should have went from the back to the front. All right. Genesis 24:67. All right. Genesis chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother's Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. I'm sorry, but I thought I was, before I read this verse, I thought I was the only person that did that. I mean, granted, it wasn't my mother, but I had, my first time getting it in, it was, in my in my parental people's, what I'm saying, space. You know what I'm saying? I got my little cousins and stuff in my room. Can't bring them in there. You know what I'm saying? So gotta tuck it off somewhere else. And this is a common practice amongst black men. A lot of people won't understand that, but this is our first love that we got it in with was actually in our parental advisor space. In fact, I got kicked out of the house for that. At least that's what she claimed. But I got kicked out of the house for that. You know what I'm saying? This is not an uncommon practice amongst black, Hispanic, and Native people. I got like 5 minutes left. Let's see what I can get into. Let's see what I can get. Let's get into 25 and 27. Get to 25 and 27. Genesis chapter 25, verse 27. Hold on. I did not write that in there, did I? I think I did. Let's read it. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Our enemy is a cunning hunter. Who's a better hunter than our enemy? Our enemy is a hunting machine. He will put a deer pee on him just to hunt a deer. That is cunning. I ain't putting no animal pee on me to hunt no deer. But that's what he would do. You know what I'm saying? Cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents, man. That's all we like to do. We just like to chill, man. We don't want no issues. Black, Hispanic, and Native people, we don't want no issue. We just want to chill, have a good time, a beer in our hand, a woman on our side. You know what I'm saying? Partying all the time with our homies. You got people over there, people over there. We don't want no issues. We just want to chill and relax. We are simple. We ain't got to be pouring pee on ourselves to hunt down deer. You know what I'm saying? But let's go to one more spot. Let's go to Acts 20 and 7. Acts 20 and 7. I ain't going to tap this in, but Acts 20 and 7, because I only got 3 more minutes. Acts chapter 20, verse 7. And upon the first day of the week, when the disciples came together to break bread. Oh, to break bread. That is some more slang term. What does it mean to break bread? That's something that only we understand, man. That means we feasting, man. It can mean either we're feasting or we're building. See, that's some more slang right there. Either we're feasting or we're exchanging ideas. I had to put it in white people's terms. That's what it can mean, breaking bread. And that's what the disciples came to do. You know what I'm saying? To break bread. You know what I'm saying? But hold on. My bad. Hold on. And 7. Disciples came to gather to break bread. Paul preached unto them, ready to depart on the morrow, and continued his speech until midnight. That's what he did. They ate food, they built, and they exchanged ideas, man. They were taught, man. They were breaking bread. That is another black term. If you don't understand how this book is black history, then I can't help you. There's nothing white about the Bible. See, there's everything white about Christianity. Nothing white about the Bible. And with that, I say Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabarakatha to my brothers, Yahweh Shema Latha Shem Yahweh Shah to my sisters. And with that, shalom. And don't forget to pay your tithes and the Passover coming up, man. I don't got the time to play the video, but just remember, get there.